Credibility is all about being taken seriously and deemed a trustworthy source. A friend was recently asking for feedback on their reputation among peers and vendors. That conversation was an honest review touching on the following areas. When a project or idea has successfully rolled out and you haven't benefited in any way, give credit. Give the specific credit to those deserving and move on to other things. Becoming territorial, judgmental, and holding back future ideas will only leave you feeling unsatisfied. Learn and apply your future relationship lessons as future tools to surround yourself with strong networks of trusted individuals. Every day think of people you could potentially introduce. Those introductions are a way of providing each of them with another resource to better themselves. You don't have to be in the middle of discussions or even the relationship to improve your own personal environment. Let them benefit from their own mutual experiences and skill sets. You'll receive the benefits down the road. Be worthy. When you bring honesty to work, you gain credibility. Workplace credibility is not as common as we may assume. Rightly or wrongly, people make promises they just don't or can't keep. If you work honesty into your value system, you'll quickly experience your credibility growing by leaps and bounds. So just say what you mean and mean what you say, and you'll be surprised at how people begin to openly respect your frankness. All the world's payroll can't buy a respectable person's belief or disbelief if your credibility is in question. Control your anger. Global philosophies often find anger as a form of dishonesty. Perfection is not a fair expectation of ourselves, and neither is applying it to those around us. The next time you lose control of your anger, make a note of it. Take notice of how it negatively impacts your environment and how relationship rebuilding becomes a newly added burden to your workload. Just deal with issues honestly and fairly. That's when your relationships will blossom. Do not lead a double life. If you want coworkers and associates to trust you, then be consistent. The only opportunities you'll have to share valued information is when mutual trust and respect are earned within a relationship. Knock off the gossip. Speak as if the subject will always hear what you're saying. Don't lead a double life and get stuck in the mud with explanations about conversations and rumors. Acknowledge even the smallest of accomplishments. Don't be the person who refuses to give credit to others. We all know everyone wants acknowledgement for doing a good job and working hard. Trust that your efforts are noticed by others without throwing your shoulder out of socket by patting yourself on the back. Your coworkers will appreciate it and you'll sleep better at night. It's an honorable goal to be the person that always keeps their word. Those small acts of personal and professional respect quickly set you apart from others. If a timeline or commitment is missed, own it. Explain the scheduling error and focus on tightening your schedule to eliminate future occurrences. Stop using excuses. It's best to learn from our failures and use those experiences as foundations for success. Remember, you're not perfect. Systems and processes may fail and your human traits may be just that. Maintaining an openness about issues is often the quickest solution for both short and long-term relationships. It's often easy to avoid the experience of difficult conversations after you've made a mistake. That avoidance undermines the trust of relationships. Building your reputation on trust is one of the most difficult and time-consuming projects of your career. If you make a mistake, own it and move on. To create a smoothly operating work environment, it's essential to acknowledge and develop emotional intelligence. According to a LinkedIn study, the soft skills most in demand include communication, collaboration, and leadership. How do you avoid pitfalls that may accompany working in the dynamic and diversified world of business? A key step is simply identifying and defining daily pitfalls that are most likely to occur and delay your team's progress. A few of the most common negative emotions experienced in the workplace are as follows. Aggravation. Aggravation usually occurs when you feel stuck, trapped, or unable to move forward in one way or another. It may be caused by a stalled favorite project, a boss who isn't punctual, or just being on hold on the phone for a long time. Whatever the reason, it's important to deal with feelings of aggravation because they can easily lead to negative emotions such as anger. Here are suggestions for dealing with frustration. One of the best things is to stop yourself and assess the situation. Why do you feel frustrated? Write it down and be specific. Then think of one positive thing about your current situation. It'll help you to refocus your energies, relax, and understand the big picture. Another benefit is to find something positive about the situation. Thinking about positive aspects of your situation often helps to consider things differently. This minor change in thinking may just improve your mood. So don't assume anyone is deliberately attempting to annoy you. And if it's a quirk that's the cause root, don't get mad or frustrated. It's not a personal dig. Think back to remember the last time you felt frustrated. That last time you were frustrated, the situation probably worked itself out. Anxiety. There will always be cases of fear and anxiety with increasing instances of layoffs. It's easily understandable why people worry about their jobs and employment. In these cases, proceed with caution, because this type of worry can easily get out of control. And yes, those feelings of job insecurity can impact not only your mental health, but also your productivity and willingness to take risks in the workplace. Don't let that worry get in the way of being appropriately assertive and active in your professional life. Try these tips. Don't surround yourself with worry and anxiety. Avoid meeting places where coworkers gossip and talk about job cuts or reassignments. Worrying tends to lead to more worrying, and that's never a good thing. Try deep breathing exercises. This helps slow breathing and your heart rate. Breathe in slowly for 5 seconds, then breathe out slowly for 5 more seconds. Focus on your breathing and nothing else. Do this at least 5 times, but no more than 10. Focus on how to improve the overall situation. Sitting in fear of layoffs won't help your job security or personal feelings. Instead, try brainstorming techniques to bring in new business and show your value to the company. Disappointment. Dealing with disappointment or unhappiness at work can be difficult. Of all the emotions you experience at work, these are the ones most likely to impact your productivity. If you've just suffered a major disappointment, your energy level may be low, and you may be afraid to take another risk. That temporary hesitation may hold you back from achieving. Here are a few initiative-focused steps to consider with handling disappointment and unhappiness. Take a moment to realize setbacks happen, and they're not unique to you. If so, your life wouldn't be filled with unexpected situations and learning opportunities. It's in those hills and valleys you'll often find life most interesting. If you're disappointed you didn't reach a goal, it doesn't mean the goal is out of reach. Make a slight change, even if it's only a deadline. Once you've identified the problem, start discovering ways to solve or work around it. Remember, the power to change your situation is always in your own hands. Strange as it may sound, forcing a smile onto your face can often make you feel happier. We've all had to work with someone that's not exactly a favorite personality. We also always need to understand it's important to be professional no matter what. Consider taking a deep breath before sending that frustrated email or having an emotionally tinged conversation with a coworker. Here are ideas for collaborating with people you personally dislike. Show respect. If you must work with someone you don't have a good relationship with, then it's time to set aside your ego. Treat the person with courtesy and respect as you'd treat anyone else. Just because this person behaves in an unprofessional manner doesn't mean you should behave in the same way. If the other person is rude or unprofessional, then firmly explain that you refuse to be treated in that way and calmly leave the situation. Above and beyond everything else, do your best not to bring the workplace home. Whether you were listening through headphones,